Is the number one lesson that I'm going into 2023 with. Just listen, Devon.
Come on.
Just listen.
It's gonna be a good year.
It is gonna be a good year. What's going on, beautiful people? We got an impactful episode for y'all today. It's gonna be busy. There'll be a lot of great stuff in it, and the thread that's all weaving through and connecting all the messages. The thread that's weaving through that doesn't make sense.
Weaving?
Yeah.
Or I thought you said weaving.
No. See, come on, 2023. She already trying to get me on the Merriam grammar. But the thread that is going to be weaving through the message is creating family values that can create generational impact. All right, Queen.
And not just generational income, right? Not just generational wealth, generational impact. I like the impact.
Like that?
Yeah.
Thank you. I host a podcast every week. Come tap in.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Without further ado, let's get into the episode. Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. You can go to our website at them4show.com, our Instagram at them4show, and our YouTube channel at Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making.
And welcome to the M4 Show. Welcome back. First episode in the home studio in 2023. We've been on the road for a minute. But it feels good to be back. It feels like it's been a long time.
It does.
But welcome back to another episode of the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. My name is Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And of course, I have with me my beautiful, my smiling, my galactic, melanated, sometimes sparkling queen herself. Please introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. And look, I think I got some glitter stuck in my locks because he keeps finding glitter on my face.
We be all night. Oh man. But it's been a really good, really holistic start to 2023. We've been moving, we've been shaking. We're about to actually go to a Clippers game with the family after this podcast, so it's gonna be exciting. But if you're watching live, feel free to leave any comments. We're talking about creating family values within this episode, and we're going to talk about a few things that have happened in the media, a few things that have happened in real world. Yes, it's going to be good. But I do want to start today by going over the small business sponsor. You know who the small business sponsor is this week, Sinclair?
Is it SM The Difference?
It is SM The Difference. If you tapped in episode like 142, maybe 143, we had one of the sons of the founder of SM The Difference come on here. Shout out to Ogie. A lot of love. Appreciate you for the passion, the wisdom, and just showing us like the steps and the grind of what it took to create the shoe. And he actually gifted us 2 pairs of shoes.
Come on.
Right. So we had to do a really quick live unboxing of these shoes. If you're listening on audio, we'll try to be as descriptive as possible. But the really cool thing about the shoe was what?
They don't have a heel.
They don't have a heel, which sounds like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to feel unbalanced. We don't know yet. We didn't put on the shoes. We're going to do an unboxing right now. Later on this week, we'll try on the shoes and we'll let y'all know if we can walk straight or not. All right. But Queen, I have your pair right here. The shoes did come with a free wristband as well. Shout out to the extra red wristband. On the wristband, it says hashtag are you the difference? And we think at the M4 show, we are the difference. All right. So Sinclair is opening up her box. It slides out. It slides. Come on, Sinclair.
Boxing is not my specialty. I'd be struggling.
Yep. Visible.
Okay, I'm just trying to put that down.
There you go. Opening up the package. We got her the red ones. Got her the red things. I'll hold the box while you look at the shoe.
And this is what we mean. Literally no heel.
Yep.
So my hypothesis is that it's just prevents you from kind of slamming down on your heel like a lot of us do, and it changes the way we walk and a lot of things. So I'll be interested to see how it actually feels when we're walking. I'm excited to try these. But they look saucy.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. There you go. Let me open mine up. You can put yours on that side. All right. And then on the box, it does say, move to be healthy, which I do appreciate. It does have a nice thank you message on there. Of course, good branding, good packaging all throughout.
Oh, map
talking to the mic, my love.
Got a little map on the back.
Got a map on the bottom. Maybe showing. No, there's a map everywhere. I don't know if y'all got factories all around the world. Ogie, let us know.
Right.
Let us know what the map is. But like the global thought. Thank you, my love. All right, and then I got myself the money greens. We got the red, we got the green, Pan-African colors. You know how we do. But again, heelless bottom with the white heel. Has a little bit of information about the shoe, about the company, all that good stuff. So if you're watching, you see it, go ahead and go to SM The Difference. Get yourself a heelless shoe. It's supposed to be really good for your health, more comfortable, good for your back. And they said that they did studies on it reducing diabetes or
people with they did studies. I think there was a person who reversed their diabetes.
So go ahead, check them out. We'll give y'all a full review once we actually put these bad boys on. If you're listening, go to YouTube so you can get the full visuals, right? But that is our small business sponsor for today's episode. We're gonna leave a shoe right here for that. Bow. Ogie, we showing you love, man. We're showing you a lot of love. But Queen.
Yes.
Getting into the episode, the reason why we've got SM The Difference as one of the sponsors is because they are a family-owned brand. And the fact that the dad had health as a high priority for him, and then the son wanted to support the dad. And then he went out to, I believe, China, stood there for, what was it, a whole month, a whole year? A whole year in order to manufacture this shoe, I think shows strong value, strong family value, strong family trust and synergy. And I just love that. So that's why they're the sponsor of today's podcast. But me and you had a really good event where we hosted the million dollar marriage challenge. That was it called? Yes. Yeah, $1 Million Marriage Challenge. We had Coach Theee come on and he did a deep dive into values. Leaving that challenge, we were like, we got some work to do. We need to create our own family values, our own family mantras. And that's what we ended up doing. So Sinclair.
Yes.
Before we go into what our family values are, why do you think it's important to have family values?
I think it just kind of sets the environment. Like if we talk about like nature versus nurture, right? The idea that your environment that you grow up in is so important to shape you as a human being. I think family values just put some intention to the environment that you're creating in a household. So that like children can grow up learning these values. I feel like it creates a common thread between different generations and behind a family name. So yeah, I think it's important to just be intentional about like what does our family stand for? If we talk about like branding in terms of business, I feel like family values are kind of like branding for your family.
100%.
Like, what do you stand for? What types of lessons are you teaching, the next generations? What is your family known for? I think it's important for those reasons.
Nice. You feel good about sharing what we want our family to be known for?
The values?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So we got a list. We're gonna go through one by one, give you a little bit of explanation behind them. It's inside the outline, my love.
Oh, for sure.
I got you. And feel free, if you're watching or listening, think about your own family value. Like what do you want your family brand to be known for the next 100 years, next 200 years? When we think about the Rockefellers, they have a brand. When we think about the Gates family, they have a brand. When we think about Michael Jordan's family, like they have a brand. So we need to think about for the Walkers, for the Wilsons, for the Williams, for the Hendersons, for the Johnsons, for the Powers, for the other Walkers, what do you want your family legacy? For the Vernons, what do you want your family legacy to be? So Queen, our first family value.
Interestingly enough, legacy.
Come on, I couldn't make that up if I tried. Well, actually, we kind of did make them up, but so. The order, y'all get what I'm saying. All right. So legacy, break that down. What does legacy mean for you, Sinclair? When we think about family values, why is legacy on that list?
It's being intentional again about the future generations, about what not only what are we doing while we're on this planet, but what are we passing down to future generations?
Exactly.
So I think that's something that we're very big on. So legacy is important to us. What are our children and our children's children, our children's children's children, right? What are they going to gain from what we're doing here today?
Right. And I feel like you can't just list the values and not know what actions embody those values. Right. So I think for us, one of the actions that embodies just the legacy is the fact that we invested in life insurance, right? So it's like, all right, after we pass away, we want our children to still be able to prosper and have not like stress on them for burying us or dealing with bills and all that stuff. So we invested in that life insurance. It's not a plug. We don't sell life insurance. Don't worry. But that's one example of legacy. I think another example is making sure that we have a trust. And that's high on our priority list in 2023. As we're getting these assets, we need to make sure that these assets can be passed down to that next generation smoothly, without probate court, without arguing. It's like, no, look at the trust. Everything is laid out. Right.
No questions. Just follow the instructions.
That part. So I want to get into anything else you got on legacy before I get into this little new segment that I want to test out with you. No, you good? Let's do it. Okay, so I want to try out this new segment with y'all. Y'all let me know how you're rocking with this. We tried this before and we got some pretty good feedback. This is going to be the Declare Debate.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and it's not, huge debate because I think we agree on some things. But we're going to have 2 minutes. I'm going to give you a question. I'm going to get the same question. You have 2 minutes to break down your answer, your perspective, your thought process. Okay. All right. If there's an disagreement and we need another 2 minutes for, what's it called? Rebuttals?
Yes.
Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Miriam. Then we will go ahead and do another 2 minutes for rebuttals. Okay. So let's see. The question is, wait for it. So Bruce's Beach, if y'all don't know, Charles and Willa Bruce, Black family, melanated family, invested in basically like a bread and breakfast, an inn type space in Manhattan Beach in 1912. All right, that land was taken away from them by eminent domain in 1934. So Bruce's Beach was just sold back to the city of Los Angeles for $20 million by the descendants of Charles and Willa Bruce. First question, would you have sold the land if it belonged to our family?
I don't need 2 minutes for that.
And if not, what would you have done with the property? Wait for it. Let me put up my timer because I know you be going into it. Hold on, y'all.
Pull up my notes.
Oh, you got notes. Oh, she ready. She ready. All right, 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, hit it.
No, absolutely not. I would not have sold it back. Mm-hmm. No, especially not for 20 million. Mm-hmm. But no, I would not have sold it back. We're talking about legacy, right? So I would have definitely made sure that whatever we do with it is something that stays within our family. Being Southern California natives, we know the value of Los Angeles beachfront property. And so that would have stayed with us, and it would have been something. I would have wanted to have a Black-owned resort and restaurant. It would have probably been still. I probably would have kept the name Bruce's Beach. Again, if that's our family name, we're gonna keep it. Yeah, Black-owned restaurant and resort. And the reason why I did restaurant and resort, the restaurant, I can't even see how much time I have. Okay, the restaurant will cater to locals, and then the resort will cater to non-locals who come. It's a very touristy destination, so it just makes sense to have like the premier Black-owned travel destination on the West Coast. Come on. So that's what I would have created. It's not a huge plot of land, but I think it would have been enough, especially if you can build up. Would have been enough again for a nice resort. I would have had some type of exhibit, if not a little museum or historic center for the family history that's there, a spa. And it definitely has to be IG friendly. Because again, you want the locals, right, to come, because you know how like Nobu, like everybody wants to take the IG picture in front of them. It's like a status symbol. So I feel like it brings a lot of local business. So it would have been IG friendly, so everybody would wants to come and take their pics. Obviously, Black owned restaurant serving delicious Black owned Black food. And yeah, I think that covers everything. But I would have definitely kept it within the family.
Boom, with 6 seconds to spare, I see you. And I've never seen a Nobu picture, to be honest with you.
You're not.
I don't follow the Dashians. Is that what they're called these days?
They did make it popular.
The Dashians or
No.
Nobu?
I don't think anybody's calling them
Dashians.
Dashians.
No, it's not a thing.
No.
All right, well.
But they did make the restaurant popular. But now I feel like everybody, that's just an example. But just other places, I feel like when you go places, you know, they're like, oh, they made this
Grammable.
for grammable. Yes, they made this
Grammable.
grammable.
Sure.
It helps with virality and get the word out. So that would have been something I did intentionally as well.
For sure. Well done, Sinclair. I do like the idea of a resort / hotel restaurant. Yes. All right, give me my 2 minutes.
Starting now.
No, I definitely would not have sold it. And, you know, as a disclaimer, no disrespect to the Bruce's family. I'm sure there's a lot of different things that we don't know that led you to your decision. But if we were blessed with beachfront property within our family, it definitely would not have been sold. And thinking about how I would use it as an educator, it would be for sure a museum type space. I'm thinking maybe also some restaurants and some just like Black owned businesses. But I feel like my primary goal would be, how can we take people who haven't experienced the beach and give them a safe space to go to experience that beach, which was the original reason why Bruce's Beach was created, right? It was created because Black folks weren't welcomed along the coast. They weren't welcome to visit the beach and have fun. And there's people still to this day who may live in Compton, may live in Inglewood, and they've never been to the beach. So now our primary customers would be maybe high schools, community centers, and we would have field trips where they would come to the Bruce's Beach Exhibit Museum. They would learn about the leisure economy in the 1910s, 1920s. They would learn about this California history all throughout that time as well. And then you would have a day where you can go to the beach. Of course, Black-owned restaurant right there as well for you to go get your lunch, get your catering. And then if you want to buy some rare stuff, you want to buy some Black Wall Street board games, you want to buy some Melanated Married stuff, there's just a nice mini Black Wall Street section right there as well. Boom. 30 seconds to spare. Come on. Legacy, man. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you would have done. Would you have sold Bruce's Beach? And if not, what would you have done with that land, right? And this seems like a very hypothetical question, but there's people's family land being sold every day, right? We did a whole episode on don't sell grandma's house. I think this is just a higher level
right
of grandma's house.
Don't sell grandma's resort.
Listen,
beachfront property.
Oh goodness. But again, no shade to the Bruce's family. We don't know the full situation. Sure, there are reasons beyond our knowledge why y'all did it. We're just giving our own perspective on what we would have done if we are to ever be blessed with beachfront property. All right. Queen.
Yes.
You ready to keep it going?
Let's keep it rolling.
So number 2 on our legacy is Afrocentricity and Black excellence. If you didn't know, me and Sinclair are Black.
Blackity black.
If it was unaware, like if you're listening for the first episode and you're like, I don't know, their voices sound not ambidextrous.
Ambiguous.
There you go.
How does a voice sound ambidextrous?
Their voices sound right or left. I don't know. What side? Oh man.
Miriam, we need your help this
Miriam, please throw us a dictionary. But yeah, we are very proud Black folks, African folks, members of the African diaspora. And I think for me, it's been definitely a journey to develop into this identity and be comfortable in this identity. And I feel like I want to gift this to our children and to our children's children. I want all the generations after us to be just proud and rooted in their blackness, rooted in their African centeredness, be global citizens, travel all over the world,
Right.
learn different languages, like different foods, but still know and be proud of the fact that you are Black.
Yes. And same, I think I've definitely had an interesting journey, throughout with my identity. I feel like younger, I don't even know that I really knew that I was Black and like what that meant. So kind of growing into that as I was learning more and really growing to be like, oh, I'm a proud Black woman.
Yeah.
And I do want to pass that same pride in your heritage and our heritage and where we come from to our children for sure. Because there's a lot of things out there that are gonna make try to make them feel otherwise.
Right.
So I think that in the household, everybody should feel proud of who they are. Period.
Ashe. Ashe meaning, and so it is. What actions, because we talk about actions for legacy, what actions can we do to promote just being proud Black people, proud Africans within our family? I know you. I usually go first. I got you, Queen.
Thanks.
I think one thing that we can for sure do is just words of affirmation when it comes to their natural beauty. Like whether they want to rock the afro, the braids, the locks, whether they have lighter skin, darker skin, caramel skin, and the middle skin, like just always making sure that they feel beautiful and comfortable in whatever they have.
Yes.
Right. Because I feel like, kids are sometimes some terrible little things.
They can be mean.
Some terrible, just mean, bully little things. So I want to make sure when they're in the house, they feel the love, they feel the affirmations, and it can help help block, help defend, combat anything that they might encounter in school or in the real world.
Yeah. And I think like asking them like what do you love about yourself? I feel like that, like at a young age, really getting them think about like, okay, well, dang, what do I love about myself? Right. Yeah. Down to like, oh, like your hair, right, your skin, your personality, your intelligence, right. I think really having them like really think about like what are things you enjoy about you, and really just championing that and reinforcing that. But yeah, I think hair sounds like something so simple, like letting the children do what they want with their hair, and
do what they want with their hair.
Like if they want locks, you're not going to let them get locks.
Listen, there was a time where I was, I think, maybe 11 years old, and I asked for a reverse mohawk. And my parents, in their infinite wisdom.
Sorry, I just pictured it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Because you already have a long face.
You see what I'm talking about, y'all? Bullying. But my parents, in their infinite wisdom, said no. Right? So I feel like, yes, there's a certain extent where it's like, yeah, do what you want. But I think there's a limit to sometimes you got to say no as a parent. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But anyways, just building pride in their, their hair and their identity. Definitely.
Sinclair, you got good eyes. We got a comment that just came through.
Just got on and looking forward to a great episode. Ashe, ashe.
Beautiful, beautiful. I will assume that is Brother Bottle with his beautiful kingdom over there. If you have family values, Bottle, feel free to drop those strong family values or mantras that you got and that you teach that beautiful family. Other ways I think we can censor the Afrocentricity is definitely just in the knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. I think the more that I learn about Black history and the amazing inventors that we have, the empires that we've built, it's just like, oh, we're dope. I'm dope. I got dope this in this DNA. So like making sure that from a young age, the kids know about all these Black inventors, these nations, obviously Black Wall Street, Madam C.J. Walker, Lewis Lattimore, Benjamin Banneker. Who's the dude I just told you about? Glanville, Woods. Like there's just so many dope people in our history that I think once you know that, it gives you a certain swag going into a physics class, knowing that there's inventors that have over 60 different patents in electrical engineering.
Yeah. And I think as well as knowledge about Africa, about the motherland, we do plan to travel with our kids to go visit. So I think having them tap into that culture will also be just a whole elevation of their identity.
For sure.
So looking forward to that as well. I can't imagine what that would have been like as a child. So yeah, I just can imagine the possibilities of what starts to turn when it's like, oh wow, like setting foot on the you know, foot on the soil and just being able to learn the culture. And yeah, I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. So as I maybe say one more, if you can pull up the next family value, and I think the last one for Afrocentricity would be just teaching them an African-centered language, right? So teaching them Swahili, teaching them God, teaching them.
Learning myself first.
Yes, we do. We got the CDs, but we got to learn. But up next, Queen, what is the next family value for us?
We didn't necessarily come up with exactly what we want to call it, but being dreamers / being ambitious. We are definitely dreamers.
Facts.
As you can tell by the Bruce's Beach thing that we both had, like the ideas literally on a daily basis. We are talking about, you know, dreams and aspirations, and we don't shy away from that. You know, we talk about the outlandish, let's create a city. Yep. Like we talk about those outlandish ideas, and I think that fostering that creativity, because you know, kids, their imagination just goes wild. So rather than being like, you want to fly to the moon and do what, like that's not even like, you want to do what, oh and then what, and then wow, that's crazy, and then what, like really fostering that imagination so that they have that like anything is possible type of mindset. I think if you go into life with that mindset, things just play out differently for you.
100%. And this is random, but shout out to, and they're not a sponsor at all, but Purdue University, they had like the most beautiful commercial where a dad is sitting with his little daughter, both melanated, and they're looking in the mirror, and she's like 6 years old. And she's like, oh, Dad, one day I want to go off to college and just like you or something. He's like, well, and then what? And then I'll do this. And then what? And then I'll do this. And it just shows like the endless possibilities that are there. And I just really like that for the culture, right? A nice little showing a strong dad with his beautiful daughter and just going through, again, the limitless possibilities. So I was like, you know, shout out to Purdue for that commercial. But that's exactly what I want for our kids, like to just dream, and then it's our job to figure out, okay, well, how can we somehow support this dream in any way possible?
Right.
But also teaching them the steps that you need to take behind the dream.
Yeah.
Right. Don't just dream big and then do nothing. Like let's dream, and then let's also plan out some nice strategy as well. Queen, should I be displaying this next comment?
There is a lesson to be learned from freedom of decision, but not without guidance. So that just goes to what you were talking about. Definitely with the guidance. I think that was talking about your reverse mohawk.
Indeed.
Right. And I think even then though, like you approach those situations at least, and I literally just read an article. I'm in like, I love like parenting stuff. So, and I'm analytical. So
she got baby fever. Let's be
honest. I do. No announcement. I feel like I have to say this every time. No announcement here to be made. But I feel like I'm in like research mode now. And I just read an article about like, they said like, oh, we researched or surveyed like 30 successful parents or something like that, and asked them like how their parenting style. And the common thread, they called it respectful parenting. And so it's basically like giving them guidance, but at the end of the day, kind of letting them make the decision. So for example, like if our children come up and they really want to reverse mohawk, you're like, okay, well, you know, it's going to be a little bit abnormal to what most people say, what most people see. So you're probably going to get a lot of looks. You may get some kids making fun of you, right? And then they're probably not going to want to do it. But if they really want to, I mean, I'm kind of like, well, we'll say like, we'll do it for a day. And then after that, we're going to cut it off just so that they can see like, okay, what actually happens if I go out and I look a little bit different than everybody else? Because maybe that's their swag. Maybe they're Dennis Rodman and they just want to be super different, and they, you know.
So you want to affirm Dennis Rodman behavior is what you're saying?
No, not necessarily.
What you're saying to me right now,
Here we go.
Is you would like to affirm Dennis Rodman behavior in our children.
I'm just saying he does what he wants. If you have if you have a child that just enjoys being different and weird, you're weird, I'm weird. They just may express their weirdness in a different way. You're not gonna let them do that?
I will let them express their weirdness. I do, however, believe that there is some consulting and guidance that needs to be given, and some decisions need to be vetoed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we were in San Francisco and there was a person walking around with just a sock on.
I mean, yeah, that's obscene.
That needs to be vetoed.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's inappropriate.
100%. But no one said anything to that man.
We don't
Everyone
know that.
let him be Dennis Rodman.
We don't know that. We don't know that. His roommates could have been like,
not a good idea, bro. Oh my goodness. But long story short, I do believe in letting our kids have that sense of freedom of expression for sure. But yeah, there will be a limit to that freedom. We can define what that limit is.
It might be a case by case basis as 100%. Well, but they'll have some freedom. Okay.
Next one, I believe, is wealth and something.
Abundance.
Wealth and abundance as our next family value. And again, if you're watching, listening, feel free to continue to think about your own family values. Leave comments, send us DMs. We really are interested in what are your family values as well. But for us, we want to make sure that our kids grow up knowing that intrinsically they are wealthy and they have a sense of abundance with them. Right? We don't want them growing up in a poverty mindset or in a limited growth, not a limited mindset. We want them to have a growth mindset. What does wealth and abundance mean for you?
It's exactly what you said. And when we say wealth, we do, obviously we're doing all of this. We do hope to pass down like material wealth as well. But this was more about the mindset. I have ET's quote, like, I am an ATM, in my head, like the idea that you, like you said, intrinsically with your gifts and talents can bring something to the world that will then bring you wealth and abundance. You are wealth and abundance, just the idea, rather than the kind of the scarcity mindset of like, there's only this much money in the world. Being like, I am wealth, I am abundance, I can make money, I can make impact in the world, I can, do all of these things. I think it's more about the mindset of I can do whatever, kind of tying back to the dreaming, I can do whatever I want, rather than like, there's only this. That scarcity mindset, I think, can be very limiting. So yeah, I think it's more just the mindset of like, there is enough of everything, and whatever there is limiting of, you can create more. Like,
and also the following up on your comment on I'm ATM machine, and I feel like that was one of my theme for 2020 probably. I'm like, Sinclair, I'm an ATM machine. Like after I watched that video, but them knowing that they don't have to go to a 9-to-5 to make money. Right. Again, no shade to 9-to-5ers. Still working my 9-to-5 for the foreseeable, whatever happens. But wanting our children to grow up knowing, okay, if I want to make $1,000 next month, okay, well, what gift do I have? Let me write a book. Let me do videos with a reverse mohawk. Let me make shoes. Let me have a podcast. Let me use my creativity. Let me use my inner wealth to manifest outer wealth. Is what I want them to definitely grow up knowing. Yeah, and not thinking that they have to depend on anybody to gain that wealth. Like you said, it's already in you. 100%. You just got to foster it. 100%. All right. So before we go to our next value, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. We will be right back. Look, we're going to get right back into the amazing podcast. But if you didn't know, in 2017, we created Black Wall Street, the board game, because we thought more families needed to know about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street. More families needed to know about the legacy of Black excellence left behind of Tulsa Black Wall Street, that we can own a Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Salon. We can have a Booker T. Washington High School. We can have an Uncle Steve's Barbecue. We can have a Renaissance man like Simon Berry, who had his own taxi service and bus service that got bought out by the city of Tulsa. We have brilliance in our DNA, and we wanted to make sure that your family can play a game that teaches them about this brilliance. So we have Black Wall Street, the board game, right here. We had the first edition available in 2017. That got sold out. We're on the second edition right now, or you can get the beautiful masterpiece version of the game as well. It's up to you. Head to playblackwallstreet.com and get yourself Black Wall Street, the board game, to empower you, your family, and generations to come. Playblackwallstreet.com. Let's get back to the episode. All right, family, welcome back. So getting back into our family values, the next one is love and respect.
Love and respect.
Uh-huh.
I had to remix it somehow. The
Of
symbols didn't line up.
they didn't, and I will respect those vocals that you just laid down for us, my queen.
It's 2023, y'all.
It is. It is. So for you, break down love and respect.
Mhm.
What does that look like within our family, within our marriage, in our relationship? What are we talking about here?
So treating other people with love and respect. I think what we stated here is like also first treating yourself with
Mhm.
love and respect. I think everything starts inward, right?
Mhm.
So first treating yourself with love and respect, and then that also manifesting to treating others with love and respect. Sometimes we be out here just seeing people do things, and it's like,
Who raised you?
who raised you?
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure that people that come from our family going out into the world are known for treating people with love and respect, period.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know how much we need to go into that, but I think that positive and growth mindset plays into that as well. And the other thing we put in here is that it applies to all living things.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is an important thing to add on to that. We don't necessarily have the mindset that like we as people are above other animals or other living beings on this planet. I think we're all here trying to coexist. And so passing down that similar mindset. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like spiders.
She doesn't.
I don't. And I just immediately, if I see one, I'm just like, I gotta kill it because it's him or me at this point. But I think since meeting Devon and kind of him like questioning, like, why do you have to kill it? And I'm just like, it's in my space. And he's like, why can't you just take it out of your space? And I was like,
Peaceful.
So pretty much ever since then, I will try to like cap it, get it in a cup or something like that, and then take it outside because I'm just like, you're right. I don't necessarily need to kill the thing just because I don't like it. It's not like it's gonna kill me.
Exactly. Now, mind you, we did have some ants not the other day.
They had to
go. This was
a
while ago. The ants had to go. There was no way to transport them. I would have tried. There was no way to transport these ants. So the ants, they had to go. We're sorry. All right, we prayed on it, and that's what happened. But in addition to like animals and living things, it's also like respecting the earth. You shouldn't be littering, shouldn't be just using up the earth for no reason. Like respect and love to all living things, including this beautiful living planet that we call Earth that gives us life, like literally.
Shout out to Mr. Walker and his sustainability mindset. We wanted that to be ingrained in the family as well.
Oh yeah. For those that know my dad, he is huge into sustainability. That is his love, passion. So he's going to be a prime source of teaching our kids about just treating the earth with that love and respect. We good on that one?
Yes.
Okay. The last value that we have for the Walkers is family. All right? Real simple. Family. I got all my Walkers with me. Hey. Thank you. Grandy, feel free to give us a standing ovation at any time. But for family, this means being loyal to your family. For some reason, there's some bickering sometimes within families for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it being money, sometimes it being things that happen in the family based on history. But at no point do I think, and hopefully we're on the same page here, you should be like disowning family or exiling family, or people can't come around unless they do like completely outlandish stuff.
Like there's situations where
they do
completely outlandish stuff. Completely rule that out.
Yes, ma'am. But just staying loyal to family and making sure that they always feel safe and comfortable in the space. Putting family first, right? So if you have a decision where it's like, oh, we could sell a piece of this company to Hasbro's, or we can give equity to our future way in the future daughter. It's like, just prioritizing family over maybe personal gain or over other corporate gains. What else is on here? Putting other family on, right? So we have the opportunity to hire a cousin, to hire our parents, to hire anyone else within our family, and they are fully qualified or at least like almost qualified. It's like, all right, we're going to prioritize our family. What's the word? Nepotism,
yeah, which has a negative connotation, but
yeah, nepotism does have a very bad connotation. But I think at the end of the day, if you could practice nepotism, you probably would.
It has created a lot of successful family businesses and family companies.
Right. I think where it's like completely bad is when you're just hiring family to hire them and they're not doing the job, or they're not qualified to do the job, and you didn't hire this other person. But yeah, I mean, selfishly, we are most likely to practice nepotism because our kids, if they are talented in things, will be hired before a lot of other people. The same thing goes with our family, our friends. We already do this. Like, we prioritize our family, our friends in these partnerships that we're doing before going outside the circle.
100%. Right? Yeah, and that's like family, like that can, I think, extend to not only like blood family, but chosen family, right? Sure. Friends. It's like we've had the opportunities where it's like, oh, we can go with this person, or we can go with this person that we already know and love, and like we're gonna choose the family almost every time.
Right. It's in our values, right?
Exactly.
Let us know how y'all feel about nepotism. If you have a family business, would you prioritize hiring your family members, your family, your friends over hiring outside folks, whether they're equally qualified or the outside person is slightly more qualified? Which way you going? Right. But for us, I got another declare debate.
Here we go.
I got another declare debate. Hold on. Let me put the banner up. I need the visuals. I'm a visual person. Declare debate.
We have a whole thing.
We
here.
do have a whole thing.
Audience noises.
We need to.
I think
take
this
notes.
is the audio. Can I try it?
Go ahead.
We don't even know what it is.
We don't even know.
We have no idea what you just heard.
Why would you throw a pin at it?
We don't even know what it is.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. If anyone got a plug for Kevin Hart, definitely introduce us, please. Like yesterday. But the question is, Gabrielle Union was recently quoted that she felt she was able to cheat because she paid all the bills. Let that marinate for a second. All right. So she felt that she was in a position to cheat because she was paying all the bills. And I think this was in a previous marriage, not in her current marriage. Yeah. Do you believe this to be true? And by not that quote to be true, because the quote is true.
That's her truth.
But if a person in the relationship is paying all the bills, do they have the autonomy to be able to cheat in the relationship? 3, 2, 1.
So no, because if you use the word cheat, to me, cheat means that it was not an agreed upon situation. Right? If you have an agreement where, okay, I pay the bills and that means I can do what I want, and you're still okay with that, do you? That's your life, that's your situation. But to me, the word cheat sounds like there was only one person who was in on this. And so no, of course not. Just money has nothing to do with loyalty to me. So no, absolutely not. She's in the wrong. I think that's what's interesting about it, is that I think that that's probably some folks' mindsets out there. A lot of men, I'm sorry, just put it out there. I feel like that's probably a lot of.
Pointing right at me, Bottle. You see that? She said a lot of men. Oh, Bottle.
I think a lot of men have that mindset, and so I think that's a problem. I don't think it's good either way. So I think it was just weird, and I think part of why it went viral is because it was her, and that she's a woman. Yeah. I think that was just different to hear that, but that was one of the first things that I had to catch myself, as I was just like, no, that's crazy. And I was like, is it really crazy? I guess it's really not that crazy. That's probably a lot of people's mindsets, whether it's physical money of like, I pay all the bills, or just I hold a lot of weight in the relationship, or I do a lot of the heavy lifting, whatever that means to them. So then that means that I can do what I want outside of the marriage. But yeah, I think it's wrong regardless. Yeah, it's wrong regardless if that's, again, was not the agreed upon situation. I think there are some folks out there where that is the agreed upon and they just got to deal with it. That's not my place. But I think if that was not the agreed upon situation, then no, you're still cheating. That's still infidelity. You're wrong regardless of who pays bills.
With you 8 seconds to spare, you're very consistent, my queen.
Thank you. I'm trying to work on that this year.
Yeah, consistency, respect. Here you go. Going right into it. So definitely, clearly not. I feel like what you were saying historically, there was a time where women literally couldn't work.
Right.
The man was the only one allowed to work in the factories or work in the industrial complex. So he was bringing home the quote unquote bacon. Right? No, that's steak you're smelling. That's steak. Right. And in that, it's a relationship of power. Like, I'm bringing home all the money. You're at the house. You're not even able to work. So you couldn't leave me if you wanted to. And even back then, there was a huge stigma on divorced women in particular, to where it's like, once you were in a marriage, once you were no longer a virgin and you're divorced, it's like, who's going to marry you now?
Like so you're battered goods or something.
Right. Yeah. So you have to stay in this marriage. And I think that's where it kind of stems from, the fact that I have the power, I have the money. If you want to leave me, you can, but this money stays here. And I think it's unfortunate that we saw an example of a woman kind of bracing that power a little bit, but I think it's also the changing in the times that we're in, where it's 2023. At this point, Black women make more money than Black men.
Is that a statistic?
Let's look up that statistic. I know Black women entrepreneurs are growing at a much higher rate than Black men, but I'm fairly confident.
And college degrees, right?
And college degrees. I'm fairly confident Black women control more money than Black men do. I feel like the average Black man salary versus average Black woman salary may still be skewed, but I feel like Black women can probably control way more money than Black men do.
Probably.
All right. Someone fact check that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that abuse of power is right. And I feel like at the end of the day, it is still relationship abuse. Like, in a different type of way, it is some type of emotional or sexual abuse to be able to feel like you can cheat because you pay the bills.
Because you pay the bills. You sounded like one of the end of those pharmaceutical commercials. Could cause anal bleeding.
Oh goodness, I heard that. Oh man. But go ahead, y'all leave us your comments, your thoughts below. Do you feel like the partner in the relationship that is making all the money and paying all the... Hold on, y'all. Sinclair's laughing.
I'm laughing at myself. Keep going.
You're laughing at yourself.
I'm hilarious.
Oh, it's my wife right there, y'all. She be cracking herself up.
That's all that matters.
No one else be laughing. She'd be in the corner. Oh goodness. But yeah, let us know in the comments your thoughts on power, paying the bills, and whether or not that person has the authority, has the autonomy to cheat in the relationship. So Queen.
Yes.
A quick recap of our family values. All right. So we have, and this is in no particular order for us. All right. So we haven't created the actual priorities, but according to this list, number 1 was
legacy.
Number 2, Afrocentricity, or just highlighting Black excellence.
3 is dreamers or ambitious.
Number 4 was wealth and abundance.
Number 5 is love and respect.
And number 6 is family. Our last one, I actually missed one. My apologies. We have 7, Sinclair.
Oh, we do. Way down there.
We almost missed. This is probably your favorite.
Come on. Let us miss number 7 being wellness.
Break it down.
The health nerd gotta have wellness ingrained in the family. So yeah, it's just prioritizing health and wellness, nourishing the mind, body, soul. And then this is also where we tied in like spirituality, of just tapping into some higher power, knowing that there is some type of higher power out there. Having a faith in a higher power. And also like that connection to ancestors as well. That's kind of one thing we all kind of bundled into wellness, being of the mind, body, soul.
Yep. So I'm thinking of ways that we're going to embody this or practice this with our kids. To me, I see this very clearly, just like dance sessions. We're in the backyard, we're in the garage, we're in the dance studio somewhere, and you're just up front leading the class, and our kids are just doing their thing, jumping around, and hopefully maybe even doing some African-centered dancing and stuff. Like, I don't know. I really see that for us in our future.
Absolutely. In the living room too.
Easy.
Everywhere. Dance party. But also like cooking. Yep. Right. I have a very clear, envision in my head of like kids cooking with me. And so I want to instill the practice of cooking, not only just for a life skill, but also the idea that like you should be, as much as possible, kind of the one preparing your meals and eating prepared meals, knowing what's in your food, right? You know what's in your food if you've made it. So as much as possible, just fostering that community aspect of cooking meals, and then also sitting down and eating the meals together. So I feel like naturally in that the nutrition, will be ingrained in there. I'm like, oh, this is why we're eating spinach. This is why we're eating collard greens, right? These are good for you. It's going to help you do this, right? It's going to help your brain grow nice and big and strong. Talking to kids, you got to make it. Yeah. But yeah, just making sure they understand like why they're eating what they're eating. Why are we feeding them this food, right? Everything has a purpose. So
we also talked about doing like lessons around the food. Absolutely. Like, so if we're cooking curry, like, all right, what country is this curry from? And how is Indian curry different from Thai curry, different from Jamaican curry? And then going into the history of those different countries as well. If you can't tell, I'm a history nerd, so we're gonna be doing some fun stuff. And then something that I see also clearly is playing sports with our kids. Yeah. I think growing up, my dad took me to the basketball court, to the park, and those are just like fun memories, like being always on my dad's team. And I feel like it was a sense of pride, because I wasn't always the best player. Now I'm top 5, you feel me? But I wasn't always the best player, especially if you're 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. But the fact that my dad, right, your dad still chooses to be on your team, knowing that you're not the best player, it's still like that sense of pride. Like, all right, my dad got my back. My dad's always going to choose me, even though there's better players, taller players, more talented players out there. I'm still on the team, which goes back to family first, right?
I think it's also cool that still remains a bonding experience for you and your dad.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, thank you. So I do feel like I need to ask you a question, Sinclair. Okay. I need to ask you, which of these 7 values is going to be, I don't know necessarily your priority, but like the most important value that you want our kids to embody, to learn, and pass down to the next generation? All right. So I'm going to ask you that question. I'm going to let you marinate on it. I'm going to let you think on it. You're going to answer first right after this commercial break.
Sounds good.
All right. We're going to get back to the episode in a second, but breathe. If you've ever had a brilliant idea, I'm pretty sure everybody just took a breath right there, right? Because we all have amazing ideas. But I got a question for you. What's stopping you from taking that idea and actually making it into a business, actually executing on your brilliance? My name is Truvel, and in 2018, I was able to create, market, and sell my own product while still working a 9-to-5. And through the years, I've taken the lessons we've learned, the expensive webinars that I've gone to, and the dozens of business books that I've read, and I've discovered 7 simple steps to launch your business. If you're ready to take your business idea to the next level and make it real and start making profit from your passion, head to www.launchitcommunity.com and grab yourself the book. We've been able to make it very simple, affordable, and easier than ever to start that business while still working your 9-to-5. And we take entrepreneurs every single Friday and we talk to them. We teach them about how to use social media. We teach them about how to set up their Instagram account, how to use Shopify, how to use Printful, and other tools that can help you take your business to the next level, but not take tons of time away from your 9-to-5 and your busy life that you already have. So if you're ready to take that idea to the next level, make sure you head to www.launchitcommunity.com, get yourself a book, and join our free accountability calls. Now, let's get back to the episode. All right, Sinclair, you've had enough time.
I had it pretty much instantly.
Yeah? All right, Go ahead, hit us.
I know what everybody thinks I'm going to say.
What do you think they think?
They think I'm going to say wellness because I am the health nerd.
And they wrong?
They wrong.
Ooh.
It's love and respect. It is love and respect, because at the end of the day, even if they don't necessarily prioritize their own health and wellness in that way, one, I think love and respect is a like
Foundation.
foundation to your own health journey. If you don't value yourself, if you don't love yourself, you're not going to see a point to keeping any type of health regimen up or prioritizing yourself in that way. So yeah, I think if anything else, if we create children that love themselves and then reciprocate that love into other people.
There it is. There it is. Okay. You had a much easier time than I thought.
You need more time, huh?
Yes, I'm between probably 3. I'm gonna probably end up going with Sinclair. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Afrocentricity though. I was debating between legacy and Afrocentricity, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you are rooted in your Black history, rooted in your Blackness and your identity, there's a sense of legacy in that. There's a sense of pride built in that. And I just feel like for me, there's been so much self-esteem that has come with learning about myself, that has come with doing our DNA test, that has come with going to Ghana, that has come with this Black history knowledge that I have, that I want. Yeah, I just want our kids to grow up with that confidence. I feel like there's also a level of, I don't know, I feel like the more I learn about myself, the more intelligent I feel. So I feel like I want to be able to give that to our kids as well. So I think if they have a good foundation of treating themselves and others with love and respect, but they also have a good foundation of knowing who they are and whose they are in the world, unstoppable. Unstoppable, Kendry. All right. Are we good, Queen?
We're great.
Appreciate y'all for tapping into this episode. Again, at any point, comment whatever your family values are. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give us a like and subscribe on the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making YouTube channel. And then if you're listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, definitely make sure you like and follow the podcast. It definitely helps. It helps these positive frequencies get to more people. Now, Sinclair. Sinclair.
The bond.
I want us to get into updates. What updates do you have for the community, or what updates do you have for things that you want to improve or work on for M4?
I don't have any community updates for y'all this week. And things that I want to improve for M4 are just growing the listenership. I think we've spent a couple years getting our message together, getting like all the fancy bells and whistles together. But I think we're to the point now where it's like we need to get this message out. So, that's where I'm just going to reiterate what he just said. If you tune into this and you like this episode, and you've heard other episodes as well, please go ahead and share it with just one person. You just share it with one person, you'll be helping us out. But yeah, I think growing the listenership, as well as getting more events. We did the $1 Million Marriage Challenge. That was a success. But definitely want to keep that going. So doing more challenges, doing in-person events, especially if, for the IE community, the Inland Empire out here. So if you are in the Inland Empire, make sure you stay tapped in, subscribed, all that, because we're going to be, this is going to be the channel where we talk about upcoming events and things that we have going on. So I'm excited for that as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Updates. As usual, go to playblackwallstreet.com, get yourself a board game. All right. We got the second edition going. We got the masterpiece edition going. Things that we're going to start doing more of with Play Black Wall Street is going to be more live courses, and we want to do more live tabling and vendoring events. So if you're hosting anything in California, specifically in the IE, feel free to hit us up. And if we're available, we'll come through, sell some games, meet some people, teach some history, have some smiles, take some pictures, exude Black excellence. What we do. Play Black Wall Street, M4. Come on now. So go ahead and go to playblackwallstreet.com to get your board game today. And then as far as M4, I'm looking forward to, for sure, the in-person events. I think we had our M4 mastermind for New Year's. That was a dope experience. We got some dope content, and it was cool to have like those different personalities and people on the show telling their story, telling their dreams, telling their goals. So I'm also excited just to get more consistent guests on too. All right, we got our friend Deja, who's going to come back on a consistent basis. We already have Marjorie. We already have Lovey and Snooks. So we already have a good core group. So I'm excited to just see what that consistency looks like for 2023. Yep. Anything else, Queen, before we get dressed and head to this Clipper game? Let's do it. All right, beautiful people. We appreciate y'all as usual for tapping into the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game.
And I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd.
Make sure y'all secure the marriage. Make sure y'all secure the love. And of course, make sure y'all secure the bag. Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.